you. I hope that I'm audible to you. And if I'm audible to you, please write yes in the chat box so that I can continue. Yes, fair enough. So there are two hosts here. And these two hosts are Anuj sir and I am there. So both of us will be talking to you on how to attempt an AIMCAT section wise and how to analyze an AIMCAT. So there are two points on which we are talking. This is one of its kind session. This will not be repeated with your batches now. So this is, let's say, one session which people ideally should take after attending first AIMCAT. There is an assumption here that I'm taking that you have attempted your first AIMCAT, that is AIMCAT number 25. And you will be typically using this methodology that we are discussing with you in the further 24 AIMCATs that you'll be taking. And you will be probably, you will try your level best to improve the scores that you will get in the coming AIMCATs. So the session is not analysis of that particular AIMCAT, but yes, we can use that as a reference value to tell you that how you have to do this analysis and what are the various tools available on our student homepage that you can use, and then further do a detailed analysis with the help of those SHP tools. I'll be talking about section 1 and the general overall attempt, overall analysis, while Anuj sir will be talking to you specifically on section 2 and section 3, where he'll be discussing maybe how to scan some particular questions of LRDI and quant as well. So both of us will take this session. It is almost an hour-long session, and you will have a good understanding after this session that how you have to typically attempt a test. I always say attempting a test is the most important factor to improve our scores, because accuracy eventually depends on your attempt. So if your attempts are very high and you are not showing that kind of accuracy, this attempt is useless. If your attempts are low and you have shown a very good level of accuracy, then probably I would say your attempt is decent enough. So based on all these things and based on all these parameters, let us try to understand the first part first. Now, there are the first thing that you have to understand is, I don't know whether you have appeared for that AIMCAT or not. So those of you who have not appeared for the AIMCAT, use these methods discussed by us in attempting a test from 24th onwards, and keeping this test as a missed test that will come to your folder later on. So one understanding that you'll get, I don't expect you to do these kind of annotations. You are not kids, please. Okay. So you expect me to do disable annotation for others. I've done that, but that's very bad. Okay. Basically, what you have to understand is there are 25 All India markets and there are 25 self-administrator markets. In All India markets, you get on the spot a ranking with the results, because these tests are conducted at a particular time slot in a particular window across the nation. While this is not true for a self-administered test, self-administered test is a little different. And in a self-administered test, you get a ranking which is like, you can always use that. Oh, I'm sorry. Anuj sir, by mistake, I've created a host for you. So I'll have to probably come back and show the screen again. Just give me a second. Okay, this is fine now. So self-administrator market means you will take a test and subsequently your rankings will improve, your percentiles will improve as test takers will take the test. It is in your hand to take a test, and it is your hand when you wish to take the test. But AIMCAT cycle is fixed. Now, if you have missed an AIMCAT, that means this AIMCAT you will not be able to take till this comes back in your folder as a missed AIMCAT. This will typically come in the month of August, and then you'll be able to take it as a missed AIMCAT. Till then, this test is not for you. It is a missed one. You are absent there. Okay. Now, question comes in. What is the importance of AIMCAT? First of all, I'll talk about it, because you will feel that at a particular point of time that we are exhausted, and there are 25 tests, 25 SAMCAS, 350 sectional tests. See, first and the foremost importance is it measures yourself across the nation. So when I say across the nation, means across the country, you guys would be tested, and you get an all India rank, all India percentile, sectional rank, sectional percentile. It is exactly a good eye opener for you. You may come up and say that we have not done the syllabus. Hardly matters. Aptitude exam has no syllabus. You already have an aptitude. We are trying to polish the existing aptitude. So in all three areas, there is as such no syllabus. So it is the best way to remove fear of exams that you have. And of course, practice makes a man perfect. Syllabus or no syllabus, just jump into the river. You will learn to swim on your own. There's the best possible understanding of an AIMCAT. And believe me, AIMCAT is one of the best tools that a CAT aspirant could have to measure himself, that how he is improving. Forget about others, forget about percentile. Just look at that, how you grow, how you move up the ladder. So here, what is important is how you move up the ladder. So it is a very common, it is a very good lesson that we have learned through this. Running is difficult, run more. So if AIMCAT is difficult, take more. Don't miss. People who say that, I have not done the course, I'm not taking a test, I'll do the course. This is all rubbish, all scrap, nothing. Serious test takers, they start taking tests from day one and they continue till the end. There is no excuse to defeat your own self that, I am not able to prepare or I'm not able to fight. And then AIMCAT is the best example to show your own self personal accountability. So if you have that personal accountability towards your own self, ki bhaiya, I am preparing for CAT, then AIMCAT is the best possible tool. Don't skip away, don't move away. That is one thing that you have to understand very, very categorically, and you will have to take this lesson and apply this to your AIMCATs as a tool. Okay. Now let's come to the AIMCAT. It is exactly on the same lines as the last year paper or the 20 paper, 21 paper, 22 paper, because they were more or less on the same lines. 40 minutes each section. VARC 40 minutes, LRDA 40 minutes, Quant 40 minutes. So I'll be starting with attempting an AIMCAT VARC section. So when I say section 1 VARC, it is typically a section of 40 minutes. So now, when I say it's a section of 40 minutes, there are certain rules that you have to follow in these 40 minutes. There are two schools of thought. The first school of thought says that attempt 10 minutes VA first, 5 minutes scan all passages, and then attempt 25 minutes those passages. The second school of thought says that scan all 5 passages, all 4 passages in 5 minutes, 25 minutes attempt all passages, and 10 minutes give to verbal ability. So this way you have 40 minutes here and 40 minutes there. Now you can adopt any school of thought. I typically favor strategy 1. because I believe that verbal ability is more or less a fixed set of questions. Although the questions which were there in CAT 2022 were slightly different from the previous year sets. In fact, one set was completely different, rest was same. So to understand this, let's go into details. Now, the first step in attempting VA is that you will always have, I'm not sure you will always have. Usually the train said 8 questions from VA and 16 questions from RC. It gives you 24 questions in all. If they are giving you 24 questions and you have 40 minutes in hand. 10 minutes, 8 questions, 25 minutes, attempt ka these 16 questions. Now, VA questions are primarily divided into 3 different categories. Paraforming questions, out of context, or a kind of text completion, which was there this year. Text completion, or the place where you have to fit in the text. And the third one is, let us say, summary based questions. Okay. So this set is of 4 questions, 3 questions, and 3 questions. Sorry, 3 para based, 3 out of context text completion, and 2 summary. So 8 questions in all. So ideally one can look at attempting these 2 sets easily because they are non-negative and they do not carry a negative marking. So they are non-negative in nature. You can actually look at attempting these 2 sets in the first 5 minutes, 10 minute slot that you are allocated. So 10 minutes is decent time to attempt verbal ability, 8 questions. Now, when you look at RC, I don't know how many of you have applied this. Ideally, what candidates in their first test until they start with this session is, they start with passage number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Passage number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, or 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. But this is wrong. You have to identify an order of attempt. Order of attempt means that in this particular passage, my area of interest exists or not. What are the variety of questions or type of questions that exist? So I should look at these 2 things or more things. You can look at more things also. But eventually when you will reach peak of your preparation, you will find that area of interest and type of questions are the only 2 components that you will look at, whether you have to attempt this passage or not. So let us say passage number 1, passage number 2, passage number 3, passage number 4. This comes at 4th number of attempt. This at 2nd, this is 3rd, and this in 1st. So you're starting your test with passage number 4, going to passage 2, and then going to passage 3, and then going to passage 1. This is called as order of attempt. I'm just giving you an example. What is order of attempt? Advantage of order of attempt. Suppose I have decided that I am not a very strong reader and my RC is not very good. In that case, I have decided I'll be attempting 2 passages, which will give me 8 questions. Now, which 2 passages I'll attempt? I'll attempt only those 2 passages in which I'm strong. How would I identify that I'm strong in these 2 passages? So when I'm scanning these passages in 5 minutes, I'm trying to draw an order based on my area of interest and based on the type of questions that I get. So typically I'll identify passage number 4 and 2 is something that I'll be attempting, and I'll try to gather 7-8 questions from this bundle. 8 questions from here, 5 questions from here, 13 questions. And if I'm attempting on a high rate of accuracy, this is more than sufficient to fetch a 95 percentile plus score. So first thing first, for a candidate, RC may order of attempt is very important. You will have to scan all 5 passages, all 4 passages, and then you will have to draw an order. I hope this is all of you are in agreement to this. I am talking about pre-test. Abhi मैं post-test पे नहीं जा रहा. Post-test पे I'll go later on. Now, what are the tools available? So One thing is clear, scanning is clear, order of attempt is clear. You identify the number of passages, order of passages, some VA questions you are attempting, some you are leaving, and then you are probably trying to figure out those questions in which you are strong, or slowly you will practice and you will become strong. Let's say this way. Agreed? This will eventually help you to attempt. Now, what is SHP? All of you have this SHP student homepage. The student homepage you have, based on this student homepage only you can take the test. So I'm assuming that all of you know how to create this student homepage. This student homepage has a tool called as AIMCAT Analysis. Once you click on that tool and you click on the number of this AIMCAT 25th, you will find that lot of icons will come where you can click on and check how to do an AIMCAT analysis. For example, summary analysis is the first thing that you get while you take a test. For example, in this you will get right, wrong, total number of questions right in VARC, wrong in VARC, right in LRDI, wrong in LRDI, right in QA and wrong in QA. This is first thing that you will get when you will do, or you will see a summary analysis. This is something will come to you after your test. अभी तक मैं जो बकवास कर रहा था, that was before the test, pre-test. Now, accuracy percentage. So this is accuracy percentage of VARC, LRDI and quant. Okay, and this is total accuracy percentage. I mean, this is kind of 80% accuracy pay this guy is playing. Net score 45 in VARC, 56 LRDI, quant 46, overall score 147. Okay, and All India rank is 5, city rank is 1, and percentile score is 99.93. So this is summary analysis which you will get on your student homepage as the first click once you click on this. This will give you a kind of a report card or a scorecard almost on the same lines as you get in CAT. Of course, in CAT cutoff marks are not there. Here cutoff marks would be there, highest score, All India rank will be there. There only percentile score and percentage score exist. Okay. Now, this is a snapshot of your performance. That is the second thing that you get. Now see, 12 and 17 questions were very difficult as per time. He attempted both and he got them right. 3 questions, 5, 21, 24 were difficult according to time. He got them wrong. Medium difficulty pay 6, 7, 8, 15. He got them wrong. There was only one easy question, that is 22. He got it right. Overall questions, if you look at, then the best game played was he attempted all 24 questions. I don't know whether it is a good game or not, but according to me, it is not a good game. I firmly believe ये 7 attempt नहीं करता, only 17 करता, 17 को high accuracy पे खेलता, then also he would have scored more than this. So this -7 would not come to picture. And he would have, I mean, let's say if all 17 were correct, only 17 were correct, he has attempted 17, he was in a position to identify these 17, he would have scored 51 marks. This is exactly what you have to understand, that accuracy is important. But here, since he is playing on a higher side of attempt, that is a different story. But if I'm playing on a lower side of attempt, that I cannot afford to have 80% accuracy if I have to score high. Same is there for section 2 and section 3. Whatever I'm talking about section 1 and section 2, same would be replicated for section 2 and section 3 also. Now, just sharing, this is third thing that you get. All India rank in the section 1 score, section 2 score. What is the score of All India rank 1? Okay. So this is moving like this. Okay. So you can check the scores moving down from 172 to 102. Okay. This is for an analysis that how the top scorers are performing. How is their sectional score moving? So that you can imagine their scores and then probably try to look for this score in the next test. That is what we expect you from. We expect this from you. Now let's come to a detailed analysis, difficulty level of analysis, section wise, question wise analysis. Inference based 6 questions were there. He got 3 right, 3 wrong. 50% accuracy better inference pay. His inference is not very strong according to me. Okay. Detailed specific questions were 3. All 3 were correct. So 100% accuracy exists here. This is mentioned here. Example specific questions were 4. 75% were correct. Further application 1 wrong. Para formation 1 wrong, 2 right. Para summary 2 right, 1 wrong. So here it is 66%, 66%, 50% inference. So let's say if he is working on his, this will give him an idea that his inference is not very strong. So at least one area on which he has to work is inference, and which will come with regular practice of critical reasoning and application of critical reasoning. Okay. Now, another important tool that you get for your analysis is time spent analysis on all questions. Time spent analysis means, let's say question number 1, and let's say question number 1, correct answer, my answer, area, percent attempted, percent correct out of this attempted, difficulty level, marks, negative marks, time spent in seconds by me, by all students, by all those who answered correctly. So even you get a detailed analysis of the time spent by you. So time spent by you, time student is spent by other students, and time spent by all those students who got it correct. You can actually see that in a particular question, I overspent some time, and even after that I got it wrong. That means my track is not right. In this case, the track is right because this guy is doing good in terms of time spent by him. Now, attempting quant. Okay. Anuj sir. I'll hand over to Anuj sir. He'll be talking to you on attempting quant in LRDI, and then I'll come back on post test analysis. Anuj sir, you're there in room. See guys, we have divided this into 3 different parts, where the part 1 was, you have seen now, pre-test, that is attempting a test. Part 2 is, let's say,
All right. Good evening, everyone. So as Kapil sir said, it is absolutely correct. If you are attempting an AIMCAT, make sure that you analyze the paper really, really well. Now, when it comes to attempting on, or when it comes to attempting DILR, that is another section, let us try to understand what are the important things which are needed. Okay. First of all, when you are attempting all the questions in the sequence, that is, you are solving question number 1, then question number 2, then question number 3, and everything is Bhagwan Bharose. You are actually thinking that question number 1 should be easy, then 2 should be easy, then 3 should be easy, and then you are playing on something which is very dangerous. It is otherwise known as your luck, kismat. And I think you guys will agree with me when I say that our luck may or may not favor. I mean, quickly type yes or no in the chat box. The luck is favoring you right now. Yes or no? Right? So when we are talking about, okay, I already got 3 messages as no. That simply means that we cannot depend upon luck. The strategy has to be present. And that is what sir was trying to say, that when you are trying to attempt any AIMCAT, or even when you will be trying to attempt CAT, then you have to scan the section. And you need to scan the section in 2 different parts. You have to make sure that the scanning is done in such a way that you should be able to identify where the simple question is lying, where the difficult question is lying. Please remember that 2 minutes spent on scanning is extremely important. And that gives you an idea how the paper is or how the paper will work in the future for you, right? And the first 20 minutes of the paper are really, really crucial. It is crucial in the sense, trust me when I say this with a personal experience also, that if I am attempting a paper, if in the first 10 or 20 minutes, I'm able to attempt more number of questions, it automatically gives me a confidence. If I attempt a simple question, it tells me that I'm going in the right direction. And that is why you need to start focusing on your strength as much as possible. The more you will focus on your strength, the better result you will start getting. And more importantly, please remember that rejection is always going to be stronger as compared to selection. There is no shame when you look at the particular question and you feel that I don't know how to solve it. There is no shame leaving that particular question in the examination or in the AIMCAT. Also, a very important fact, when you're trying to solve a question, you may feel that if I spend 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes, 4 more minutes, I'll be able to solve it. That is where ego comes into picture, which does not let you go to the next question. And you are stuck there because you are thinking, if I don't solve it right now, I will not be able to solve the rest of the paper, right? So it is very important to let go a difficult question. As sir said, the order is very important. Why are we reading 3 or 4 caselet or 3 or 4 question and deciding which one to solve and which one to let go? It's very important because in order to score more, you have to play on your strong regions. Also, unfortunately, if something is not clicking, if the first 2 or 3 questions are difficult, यानी जब कुछ नहीं आ रहा है, तो समय बिताने के लिए करना पड़ेगा कुछ काम। चलो शुरू करो अंताक्षरी लेके प्रभु का नाम, राइट? अब वो तो हम नहीं कर सकते ना कैट में, so you have to be very careful. Now you are asking a perfect question in the chat box. How should we identify which one is easy or which one is a medium question or which one is a difficult question? Sir has already explained on your student homepage. After the AIMCAT is done, an analysis will be provided to you. Which question is difficult, which one is very difficult, which one is very easy, which one is easy. So once you are through with the paper, go through that analysis, have a look at that chart and see why you left the easy question. Why did you spend a lot of time on a difficult question, right? Now, what is the meaning of scanning in 2 parts? That is doing a 50-50 scanning. Let me give you some practical example so that you can understand that, okay? When we are talking about the scanning, when we are talking about the selection, what most of the people understand is when you're looking at question number 1, there are 2 choices given to you. Either you will try to solve this particular question, there is an option save and next. You will click that and then you will proceed to the next question. You will start solving it, right? But if you are able to solve question number 1, that means it was easy. Does not mean that the second question will also be easy. So what we are going to do is a very simple task. In every single AIMCAT and in the actual paper, you will see this beautiful option that says question paper. Just click on this. The moment you will click on the question paper, immediately you will see all the questions in this go. Now, I cannot keep looking at all the question in one go. I mean, I cannot spend the entire time looking at question number 1 to 22 and thinking which one to solve. I mean, I have gone through question number 1 to 3. Then I'm looking at question number 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have decided that I have seen enough. I'm going to pick up this question. This looks like time and work. It's my strong region. This is a question on remainder. If I know remainder, if I've worked on them, I will start solving it. Otherwise, I may try to skip this particular question. I'll go to the next question. I'll see that this is percentages topic. So I know that I can solve any question based on percentages. I'll move forward towards arithmetic progression. This is how you need to scan the paper. In the first scanning, you're looking at the first 10 question, maybe first 12 question, and you have decided that out of these 12 questions, I am going to solve 5 of them. That is your round number 1. You have to make sure that the 5 questions that you are solving should be done within 5 to 10 minutes. It should not take more time. More than 10 minutes is very, very dangerous. So you have to ensure that within 5 to 10 minutes, you are able to identify which questions are required and which questions are easy for you. So when you're doing this kind of a scanning, you get an idea how to select a question. Second thing is, you can also look at the length of the question. I mean, if the question is very simple and has a lot of very, very few amount of data, then you can definitely pick up that question because it will not require much of a time. But if the question is too lengthy, like let's say question number 6, it is very lengthy and we may require some more time to attempt it. Now, in this particular case, you can utilize the tools. As sir said, there are some beautiful tools given. So why not to utilize MFR, the Mark for Review tool? Just use this tool. Just click on the button Mark for Review. The moment you are going to click on this button, then you will realize that you can come back to this particular question, right? It will take some time. So you need not to solve it then and there. You know you can solve it, but it needs more and more timing from you. Okay. And what happens when you are scanning this kind of a question, you will realize that question number 8, 9, 10 was easy. Now, maybe in between the questions which are given are either very lengthy or confusing for you, you may want to skip them. What happens most of the time is that people try to solve each and every question and they forgot that the task is to get easy question एकदम clear करना है आपको. You have to clear the paper by solving easy question or by solving moderate question. Because what you have to remember is each and every question carries equal marks. It is not like a difficult question is present, so I'll get more marks for that. But for the easy question, they will cut down some marks for me. That is not going to happen. If every question contains positive 3 marks, then you have to focus on your strength, right? The question that you have asked, is it right if we skim through half the paper and note down the question number we want to solve? It is perfectly okay, Akshat. You should do that. You should look at the question. You should write down the numbers. That question number 1 is easy, 2 is easy, 4 is difficult, 5 is easy. I will first start solving them. Because as I said, in between, there might be some questions which would be dangerous. As you can see, this is how I would have picked the question. After question number 8, 9, and 10, I would have directly jumped to question number 17. Look at the length of question number 17. In reading this kind of a question, I'll take hardly 5 to 10 seconds, which simply means I am left with almost a minute to 2 in order to solve this particular question. However, it may happen that question number 12 was slightly confusing. I may have to reread it just to understand what the question is trying to tell me. Whereas question number 20, 21, and 22, the last question was very simple for me. So why to skip a simple question just because it is at the end? That is why scanning is very important. As sir also told you, and I'm also telling you the same, every correct answer is going to give you 3 marks, and every wrong question is going to give you -1. Okay? If a question does not have any negative, your question is, if there is a non-negative question, then should we solve it? I mean, I'm not getting -1. That's perfectly okay. But if we are trying to solve a question that does not contain any negative, I'm still investing some time in it. Although, if you feel that that question can be solved, it does not have any negative, I can just type in the answer, and you can definitely proceed with the same. You have to judge the question based on the topic, your strength, and whether the question has particular data set that you like, or it is always confusing for you. I mean, when sir talked about analyzing the AIMCAT, one of the analysis in quant I would particularly request you guys to do is, you have to identify that if you are making some mistake in a question, are you repeating that in every AIMCAT? I mean, if you are solving a question of number and you are solving one question in a wrong way, in the next AIMCAT, that similar kind of a question is wrong. That means either the concept is the problem or you have misjudged the question again and again. Okay? So when we are talking about this, you have to ensure that the question that you are picking it according to your strength. Apart from that, one thing you have to remember, when you are scanning the question, especially the mathematical questions like this, please remember one thing, that you won't be able to see the options. So you don't know while scanning which question contains the option and which question is a type in. So when you are actually going to that particular question number, there also you have to take a judgment that whether this question needs to be solved with the help of the option. Can I make it simple with the option? Or I can skip it and go to the next question. Apart from this, when we are talking about quant, this is it. But when we talk about logic and data interpretation, there is another problem which is waiting for you. So when we talk about logical reasoning, one of the major problem that maximum people have faced in the actual CAT, and maximum students do face that during an AIMCAT also, is they pick up a wrong case slate. They spend almost 15 to 20 minutes to realize that we cannot solve it further. And now you look at the thing which is present on the right upper corner, and that thing is known as a clock. The clock is ticking. The clock is not waiting for you. And when you see the clock is turning from 20 to 19 to 18, the clock is going down, but your panic is going up. And you have realized they have invested so much of time, and now under panic, either you are bound to make some mistake or you are bound to pick up another wrong question. That is where scanning becomes very, very important, guys. So when you are scanning the question of data interpretation and logical reasoning, what things you have to keep in mind? Again, just like quant, you have to make sure that rejection is more important than selection. And do not go with the set target. I would also suggest do not go with the time limits. When you are asking me the question, how much time can we take for scanning the section, or how much time can we take to complete one set, please do not go with the pre-decided notion. I mean, for scanning, of course, you should not take more than 2 to 3 minutes, but how much time a set is going to take, that we cannot decide, because it will depend upon set to a different set, right? It will depend upon the number of condition. It will also depend upon your thought process during that set, right? So if we are targeting anything between 1 to 2 set, that is really good. Remember that in CAT 2021, and CAT 2022. As sir has already mentioned, we are going by the pattern of CAT 2021 and CAT 2022. There were 20 questions in DILR with only 4 sets. So when I am picking up 1 to 2 set in the right direction, I will ensure that if nothing, I'll be getting at least 95 percentile. And those 2 sets are very important for me. You can have one more strategy. I mean, when I talk about 1 to 2 set, I mean 8 to 10 correct answers. So you can go through each and every set, pick up the easy question from them, and solve 2 questions each. But that is very risky. It is extremely risky because if this set is very difficult and I'm trying to solve 2 questions, I will unnecessarily waste a lot of time in solving that set just for the 2 questions. That is why if I pick up the right set and try to solve all the question based on sets, then it will benefit me in the longer duration, right? So as I said, beta, 1 to 2 sets will be enough. 1 to 2 set is much more than enough if you want to achieve more than 95 percentiles. Okay. Apart from that, as we have already mentioned, please don't panic. That is the golden rule. If you panic, you will make some kind of a error in your judgments. Say, for an example, when we're talking about DILR of this particular AIMCAT, if I look at question number 1 that appeared, the set number 1, that talk about 3 friends wrote 3 examinations and they passed, they failed, whatever information is given. Now, look at 2 or 3 parameters when you want to start a set. Parameter number 1, look at the length of the set from this moment to this moment. This set will not take more than 2 to 3 minutes with a good read. Right? If your reading speed is good, you will take 2 to 3 minutes not only to read the set, but also to understand the condition thoroughly. See, this is very important in logic. If you miss out one word, the meaning will entirely change. And I'm sure even sir will agree with me that in English also, in verbal also, even though I'm not a verbal faculty, he's an expert in that. In verbal, if you miss one word, then you are going to misjudge what the author is going to say, right? Similarly, in logic, if you miss one point or you misjudge a given condition, you are unable to solve that particular caselet in the given time. So it is very important that this time the skimming should not be there and you should read the condition thoroughly. And 2 to 3 minutes is good enough to do that. The second parameter that you have to look forward for is the variety of the question. See, if you observe the question based on set number 1, it is starting with if, which of the statement could be true, if Mohit, if this, definitely true. That means in the questions also there are internal conditions involved. If the internal conditions are involved, then this caselet, you have to rethink about the conditions with every single question. That means it will require more time as the requirement of the question will keep on changing. So should I pick up this set at the very first go? That you need to decide. I mean, in the scanning, we have this understanding. Now, when we go to the second set, we have more understanding. When we look at the second set, from this moment to this moment, you will see a lot of information is given. You will see a lot of things have been mentioned here. I mean, if you're looking at the person and how the information is given, that becomes very critical because so much information that needs to be processed under 10 to 20 minutes is very difficult under exam pressure. You have to decide whether I should go for a question with such a great length or I should go for a question which is concise, but it could be confusing at times. Because as you guys can observe, the question is very lengthy and there is too much information given. But the question they're asking is a direct question. Who among the following is serviced by Jack? That means there will be one particular scenario and you will be able to judge that question with just one single scenario. However, if you have spent a lot of time in the very first case slate and the second case slate, sometime you may not even realize that the third one was the easiest one. And that is where it becomes interesting. The third one, a data set where the information is given to you directly, where the correct questions are given to you, which can be easily solved by spending 10 to 12 minutes and will easily boost your confidence in the CAT examination or in the AIMCAT. You have missed on that. And that is the power of scanning, my dear friends. All right. So that's it from my side. Over to you, Kapil sir. Sir, I think you are unmute. Sorry.
Okay, come back to the last part. Last part says that, as sir said, you have to do a lot of selection while attempting. Similarly, you have to understand the post-test analysis part. We will be doing post-test analysis of an AIMCAT, like next AIMCAT or maybe some other AIMCAT. But for every AIMCAT, you will have to do this analysis, that you will have to first consider all questions. TQ stands for total number of questions which are there in the test. These questions can be categorized in two parts. Total questions can be categorized, questions attempted and questions not attempted. Now, when you look at questions attempted, these are those questions जो आप attempt करके आए हो, जो आपने टेस्ट में लिखा, जो आपने कोशिश किया कि I'll attempt these test questions. Either they were right or they were wrong. So here, pain is on wrong questions. Right will always be right if concept is in place and आपने कोई तुक्का नहीं मारा या आप कोई ऐसे ही ABCD नहीं खेल के आ गए. So you have to just right पे देखना है कि concept को review करना है. I'm going on a right line. I'm going on a right direction. It's fine. Questions not attempted. These are those questions which you have purposefully not attempted. You left them. Now reattempt these questions once again at your place, irrespective of the time allotted. Take as much time as you can and attempt these questions. You will further get two things. Either these questions that you have attempted will be wrong or they'll be right. If they're right, then you have to answer yourself, guess तो नहीं मारा था. अगर नहीं मारा था, तो ये मैंने इधर क्यों नहीं रखा? This should have been here. Now, if the question is wrong, so there are two set of questions which are wrong. First set which is from attempted, second set which is from not attempted. After the test which you have taken at your place, you will have to divide these questions as area-wise analysis you will have to make, and you will have to attempt these questions without time limit. Even without time limit, if you are not able to attempt these questions, then these questions will go in a category that yeah, ideally not attempted होना चाहिए था. So this should have been here. This should have been here. ये तो ठीक जगह पर है, ये ठीक जगह पे नहीं था. ये attempted में नहीं होके not attempted में होता तो मेरे को number नहीं जाता. So without time limit, when you have reattempted them, you will divide or identify or classify them into tables, area-wise analysis, which time is already doing for you. We are giving you sub-area-wise analysis where we are saying this area was there, this number of questions were there, these were right, these were wrong. For you, a detailed analysis would come. Your analysis and this analysis should match because ideally you have attempted that test. So you will be able to identify those areas in which you are weak in this particular test. So as sir said, अगले टेस्ट में जाने से पहले कुछ मैं ऐसा करके जाऊं कि कुछ अपने साथ वैल्यू तो ऐड करके जाऊंगा, and that value you will add when you will have these topics revisited, or you know I have not done these topics in class, so ठीक है, no issues. मैं चौथा पांचवा टेस्ट के बाद इन टॉपिक्स को देखूंगा when I have done these topics in class. So initial days में it is not a problem because a lot of topics you will say these topics are not covered in class. But slowly when your preparation will move ahead, you will find that the topics now they are done in class, they are completed. You will have to go with a mindset that the same mistake should not be repeated in the next test. That should be your learning from the previous test. So your previous test learning is, believe me, very important as far as your overall preparation is concerned. So this table will help you to understand a post-test analysis. So make table for every area, identify types of mistakes, identify weak areas and weak topics. This will eventually help you to understand that these are my problem areas or troublesome areas. वो एक अलग बात है, अभी क्लास नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन 2 महीने बाद क्लास भी हो जाएगी. क्लास होने के बाद भी अगर वो वीक एरिया और वीक टॉपिक रहता है, so that means we have to work on that particular area or work on that particular topic. This kind of a question wise analysis would be there when you will take the test. After the test, this will come. This question wise analysis will tell you that how many people attempted this particular question and how many got it correct. This question, for example, I'm just giving you an example. Okay, random example hai. 4275 attempted this, hardly 456 got it right. So this question ideally was not a right question to be attempted under test taking circumstances. So you will have to check this also. Initial days में ये बहुत ज्यादा मैटर नहीं करता है. Initial days में तो मैं सिर्फ समझा रहा हूँ इस रेफरेंस वैल्यू से, बट जब आगे चले जाओगे, मिडिल ऑफ द प्रिपरेशन में आ जाओगे, this matters a lot, because then number of test taker attempting a question would be more, number of getting correct will also be more. So you should fall in that category only. Okay, so this is, we have already discussed this. I have told you how you have to do this analysis. Now one snapshot of performance is also given. This also we have discussed. Now this is whole AIMCAT tool student homepage page which is available. You can use this tool very effectively, and actually you can take care of the entire preparation with the help of this tool. Now any query you have, feel free to ask us. We want you to attempt the next test very sensibly and do a detailed analysis of this test very sensibly. So इस test का तो analysis आपको इस हिसाब से करना है, और next test का attempt आपको whatever we have discussed उसके हिसाब से करना है. Okay, feel free to ask me anything that you wish to ask. Feel free to ask anything that you wish to ask. Okay, we're getting some queries, sir. We'll answer these queries. Kindly explain the last WW part again, how to make tables and all the wrong questions. Okay, how to score 100 percentile in VA section. Okay, that's a very tough question. What was the difficulty level of the AIMCAT? Was it CAT level? It was moderate difficulty level, I would say. It was neither that difficult, not that easy, but it was more or less on the lines of the previous AIMCAT, previous CAT only, that is CAT 2022. It was exactly on the same pattern. Okay, so going back to the wrong questions table wala part, dekho, what I am saying, wrong questions anywhere, whether attempted say or not attempted say, you will interestingly find ये wrong है. Without time limit attempt करने के बाद भी it is wrong. In that case, you have to identify this is one troublesome area for me, that I am attempting even without time limit, then also it is getting wrong. So you identify such topics or such areas and start working on these areas and these topics. That will help you to improve your understanding and will improve your weakness in that particular area. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Okay, sir, you can see these questions. Chance of getting 3-hour paper in 2023, nobody can comment on this. Even sir cannot comment on this. So I mean, it is next to impossible to comment on this. How to improve my accuracy in inference and conclusion questions? Please improve your critical reasoning, and that will really help you to improve your understanding of inference and conclusion. Improving RC, read a lot. Okay. Self-administrated tests are also on the same pattern. Okay, Anuj sir, a question for you. What specifically differentiate 95 percentile and 99.5 percentile plus? And there is one more question. how to score 100 percentile in LRDI in quant.
Okay. So scoring 100 percentile in LRDI and quant is very, very difficult, guys. I would say personally, because see, verbal में 100 percentile score करना is extremely difficult, but in DILR and quant it is even more difficult because you are going to compete with a lot of people who are a pioneer in quant, who are a pioneer in DILR. So they are writing CAT paper only for quant. They love math so much they want to write any of the examination just for quant and nothing else. So if you need to score 100 percentile in quant, first you have to give your 100% preparation for each and every topic of quant. Do not leave any single topic. Don't say that this topic is not important for me, that topic is not important for me. So give your 100% for each and every single topic. Secondly, accuracy is a must. See, quant is going to be the third section. That means in English, you are tired. In DILR, you are frustrated. And in quant, you have to keep your mind to the full concentration is required. So your mind has to be on the question so that you can avoid silly mistakes. Now for DILR, getting 100 percentile is slightly difficult, but not that much. Because as I said, two case slate will ensure you will definitely get 95 percentile. One or two more question, you can achieve 99. And three case slate, you can achieve 99.5, 99.8. And one more question can easily achieve 100 percentile. Just to share a fun fact with all of you, 100 percentile of CAT 2022 got only 82 percentile in DILR. One of the 100 percentile. I'm not talking about everyone, but I know one of the 100 percentiler of CAT 2022 got only 82 percentile in DILR. Right? So that shows that not even the top people will be able to achieve that. Now, how to get from 95 to 99? See, as you keep growing in the percentile chart, it becomes tough. It becomes tough and tough by every single moment. So one right answer can fetch 99 percentile and one wrong answer can push you down to 98. So accuracy along with the speed, don't panic, and full preparation. These are the four key. And I would like to say one last one, trust your mentors, right? Sir, you want to add anything?
No, that's it. It is extremely important to have faith in yourself and of course in your mentors and in the material that you are doing. AIMCAT is one of the best test series which I have seen across in my past 20 years of training career. And this is one of the best tool to improve your performance gradually. Don't expect that an overnight change will come. We'll give you some syrup and you'll improve next day. Nobody can do that. Nobody can do that. People expect कि आज AIMCAT analysis होगा तो मैं कुछ 2 चम्मच आपको powder पिलाऊंगा protein X का and you will suddenly next time you'll get 90% plus. It will never happen. And particularly in VARC section, the improvement is so slow, it is very gradual. Even in LRDI and quant, you will see a gradual improvement in score. So always look for a gradual improvement in score. Sudden spurts of improvement will never help you. Because जितना ऊंचा जाएगा अगले में उतना नीचे आ जाएगा उसके अगले में. And on the test day, you will not be able to perform. Because आप उस fluctuations में घूमते रहोगे. Avoid fluctuations. Just ensure that you have to somehow move in this model. So move gradually. That will help you a lot. Okay. So please keep a track on student homepage about the AIMCAT tables, AIMCAT cycle. Do not miss the AIMCATs because AIMCAT missed will not be repeated. A class can be repeated, but an AIMCAT cannot be repeated. So with this, I wish you all the best. We wish you all the best. May God bless you. Keep rocking. Take care of your health, take care of your elders, and take care of your hard work. That's the most important thing that you can do for till next November 2023. Wish you all the best, guys. Keep rocking. Thank you.
All the best, everyone. And for the next 8 months, forget about anything else but your preparation.
Logging off. Bye-bye. Thank you.